魔法店の方が嬉しいんだけど。じゃあこれでいいよ。
早いな。真面目に選びなさい。あ、
どうしたの？
いや。
ありがとう。
The first thing you notice about Frieren beyond Journey's End is how unusual it feels compared to most anime. Instead of beginning with the heroes setting out on their journey or fighting through their greatest battles, the story begins after the ending. The Demon King is already defeated. The great quest is finished. The hero party, after a decade together, returns home to the royal capital to be celebrated. The adventure is over before the first episode even begins. That choice changes everything. It reframes the story not as one about action and conquest, but about aftermath, about what it means to live when the credits have already rolled. This is what struck me immediately. It was like opening a book and finding the final chapter waiting at the start. And from there, the show quietly asks a question that becomes its central theme. When the battles are over, what do you live for? The hero party is made up of Himmel the hero, Heiter the priest, Ison the warrior, and Frieren the mage. When they walk into the capital, crowds cheer and songs of praise are sung. It should be a moment of joy. Yet there is already something bittersweet in the air. The show lingers on faces, on statues, on fireworks and celebrations, but behind all of it is this awareness that nothing lasts. That night, the four of them watch the Era meteor shower, a once in 50 years event. Himmel and the others are filled with wonder, knowing it is likely the only time in their lives that they will ever see it. Frieren almost casually promises to show them the meteors from a better spot next time. To her, 50 years is nothing. To Himmel, it's the rest of his life. The quiet tragedy is right there in that moment. Frieren cannot feel the same urgency her human companions do. Time for her is stretched thin, nearly endless. What is extraordinary to them is mere ordinary to her. This is where the aesthetic of the show shines. Instead of filling the scenes with loud action, it slows down. The camera lingers on the glow of the sky, on the falling lights of the meteor shower, on the warmth of the companions sitting together. It's beautiful, but it's also fragile because we know this moment will not return. Watching it, I thought of how we make the same mistake Frieren does. We assume there will always be another time, another chance, another tomorrow. But for Himmel, Heiter, and Ison, this was it, the only meteor shower they would ever see. 50 years later, Frieren returns, unchanged, her face as youthful as ever. But when she meets her old friends, she's confronted with the truth she has ignored. Himmel is an old man, his body frail. Heiter has aged into a quiet but weary priest. Ison is slower, his strength diminished. For them, 5 decades have passed. For Frieren, it's been a blink. And yet they gather once again and climb to the spot she promised them, where they watch the meteors for a second time. This is one of the most quietly heartbreaking scenes in the entire series. On the surface, it's joyous. Old friends reunited, laughing and sharing memories. But just beneath is this awareness that this is the last time they will ever share something like this. Not long after, Himmel dies. His funeral is a moment that broke me completely. The entire kingdom gathers to honor him. Statues are raised, flowers are laid, prayers are spoken, and for the first time, Frieren cries. She realizes that she never truly knew him. Not really. She spent 10 years by his side, but she never tried to understand him deeply, never cherished their time the way she should have. She always assumed there would be more, another moment, and now it's gone. That is what made me cry in the very first episode. Not just the loss of Himmel, but the recognition in Frieren's voice when she admits her regret.
たった10年一緒に旅しただけだし、人間の寿命は短いって分かっていたのに、なんでもっと知ろうと思わなかったんだろう。
How many times have we all done the same thing? How many times have we taken people for granted, assuming we would have another time, only to realize too late that the chance is gone forever? Frieren's tears are the tears of regret, the tears of someone who cannot undo what has been lost. This is where her new journey begins. She vows to try to understand humans better, to not let her long life blind her again to the fleeting beauty of mortality. It's a promise born out of grief, but it's also the start of her own growth. 20 years after Himmel's death, Frieren visits Heider, who is now caring for a young girl named Fern. Fern is training to be a mage, and Heider asks Frieren to take her on as an apprentice. At first, Frieren refuses. She sees Fern as too fragile, someone likely to die in battle. But Heider is persistent, and over time, Frieren begins to see Fern's potential. She is serious, dedicated, and immensely talented. Watching her blast spells at a rock across a ravine, Frieren notices the same determination that once lived in Himmel. Heider eventually passes away as well, but not before ensuring that Frieren will take Fern under her wing. His final gift to both of them is that bond, forcing Frieren to confront her promise to understand humans by giving her someone new to care for. Frieren honors him by pouring alcohol on his grave, a simple gesture filled with meaning. It's not grand magic, it's not the saving of kingdoms, but it's real. And that is what matters. With Fern, Frieren begins a new kind of journey. They travel together, taking on small jobs, retracing the steps of the hero party, and encountering fragments of the past everywhere they go. Frieren learns to see Himmel in statues that need cleaning, in flowers that need planting, in stories told by strangers who still remember his kindness. These moments are not big or dramatic, but they are the heart of the show. They show Frieren learning to be present, to honor memory, to connect with the world instead of drifting through it untouched. What makes these scenes so powerful is the aesthetic. The colors are soft, often pastel, with an almost watercolor quality. There is a quietness to the landscapes, a stillness in the air. The pacing is slow, but intentionally so, allowing us to feel the weight of time. Frieren's journey is not about grand battles. It is about memory, about small gestures, about noticing what she once ignored. When Stark eventually joins them, Frieren's new party begins to echo the old one. But this time, she doesn't let it slip past her. She notices Fern's birthday. She chooses a gift for her. She praises Stark when he shows courage.
You were exceptional. That was quite the show. Well done.
She sees them as people, not just companions on a road. This is the true beauty of Frieren's story. She's learning, slowly and painfully, but she is learning. It is here that the philosophical weight of the show becomes clear. Frieren embodies existential questions that philosophers have asked for centuries. Life gains meaning because it ends. Himmel's short life is more meaningful than Frieren's centuries because he lived it fully. Stoic philosophy tells us that we cannot control how much time we have, only how we use it. Himmel used his years to leave behind love, memory, and statues that would outlast him. Frieren learns from him that immortality without presence is emptiness. Even some Buddhist thoughts echo here. Her detachment from time once created suffering, but mindfulness with Fern and Stark brings her peace. The most beautiful and heartbreaking part of this story is that Frieren learns the value of the fleeting just slightly too late. She realizes what she lost after Himmel's already gone. She cannot change the past, but she actively tries to make up for it. She works to notice, to connect, to love, even if clumsily. That effort is what makes her story so moving. Frieren Beyond Journey's End reminded me of something deeply important. None of us are immortal, but we often live as if we are. We waste time. We take people for granted. We assume tomorrow will always come. Frieren shows us the cost of that mistake. But she also shows us that it's never too late to change. Never too late to live differently. When I watched Frieren cry over Himmel's coffin, I cried too. Because in that moment I saw myself. I saw every time I had overlooked something precious because I thought I had more time. But I also saw hope. Hope like Frieren, I can learn to be present. to notice, to care more deeply before it's too late. Frieren's story is not just about elves or demons or magic. It's about us. It's about memory, mortality, and the beauty of fleeting time. It's about learning, too late but still learning, that life is measured not in years but in moments shared.